Good morning, Namaste everybody. Lovely for you to join me again today to do some yoga. So this video will be on YouTube, so you can access it free of charge whenever you want to. You can do it together as a family. You can get your children to do it whenever they want to. It's a lovely sort of way to do a bit of PE. And also today's lesson plan is focused around the human body. So we even take a bit of a biology box today, a bit of a science box, so double whammy. So let's start by getting nice and warm. I'm going to give the shoulders a little roll. We're going to very, very gently nod our head yes. And shake our head no. Did you know that the head is the heaviest part of your body? A little fact for you today for our human body lesson. And then we're going to give our arms a little pat. We're going to make some lovely cookie dough with our fingers this morning. Our fingers are going to work really hard today because I have some lovely sun salutations lined up for you. And then we're going to give our legs a little pat. Let's get those muscles nice and warm. You might want to give your feet a little point and flex, making some big circles with your toes one way, big circles the other way. Lovely. And let's start. So first of all, we'll start from the top, our brain. I cannot begin to tell you how hard our brain works, and I know that you've all been homeschooling, so your brains have probably been working at such a high capacity. So we're going to give it a little brain train today. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something called cross crawling, a bit of midline crossing, and this kind of tricks the brain, if you like. All of a sudden, when we cross that kind of midline of our body, the brain's going to think, wow, what's going on? So it's a great way to keep our brains healthy. So we're just going to start by bringing the opposite elbow to the opposite knee, so alternating these, and this will help us to get nice and warm as well for some more of the physical practice. Lovely. And one more on each side. And then we're going to bring our hand to our opposite foot. So once again, crossing that midline of the body, working out our brain. I just do this a few times and you should be feeling nice and warm now. And coming down to the heart. So as you all know, the heart beats and it pumps blood around the body, so it's a very, very important job of sending the blood all the way around the body, keeping us fit and keeping us healthy. So just put your hand on your heart for a moment. Just see if you can feel that heart beating. And we're just going to do something to get that heart rate a little bit faster. So we're going to do some sun salutations. We're going to start off slowly and then we're going to get faster and we're going to see how that affects our heart rate. So have a little look. We're going to reach up towards the sky. We're going to come all the way down. Now, do not worry if you cannot touch your toes. It doesn't matter if your brother or sister, mum and dad can touch their toes and you can't. So some of you might even be here. Some of you might be able to get all the way down to the floor. And that's fine. We just go with whatever we can do today. And then we're going to take a big step back. So we're coming into our plank position. Okay. And then we're going to drop our knees. We're going to drop our chest, we're going to drop our chin all the way down to our mat, and then we're going to come up into Cobra. So a lovely snake position. We're coming up into Cobra, and then we're going to peel ourselves all the way back into our first downward facing dog of the day. So give your dog a little walk, so bending one leg and straightening the other, so walking out our dog here. And then we're going to walk our feet to our hands. We're going to come all the way up and bring our hands down to our heart centre. Lovely. So let's do a couple more together now. Nice and slowly. So reaching up, folding forward from the hips, coming all the way down, stepping back into plank position. Knees, chest and chin all the way down to the mat. Peeling yourself up into Cobra. And then coming all the way back into downward facing dog. Lovely. Stepping those hands, feet rather towards the hands. And then bringing those hands to the heart centre. Lovely. So one more slow one here. Reaching up, folding forward, stepping back into plank, knees, chest, chin, up into cobra, and all the way back into downward facing dog. Nice deep breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then stepping those feet back to the hands. Okay, challenge time. Can you do 2 very, very fast? Okay, so we're going to go reach up, reach down, step back into plank, knees, chest, chin, up into cobra, into downward dog, and jump your feet to your hands. Namaste. Whew. One more fast, reaching up, down, back into cobra, into plank, sorry, down onto your tummy, into cobra, downward facing dog, and all the way up. Wowzers. Well done, everybody. So now, just put your hand back onto your heart. Just feel how fast that's going now we've done those 2 fast sun salutations. So can you feel the difference before we did them and after? So now what I'd like you to do is join me in taking 5 deep breaths. And let's see how those breaths can slow down our heart rate, can just calm the body and the heart. Are we ready? So you should now begin to feel that heart rate come down. So the breath can do a lot of things for our body, not just slowing the heart rate down, but also sometimes when we're feeling a little bit anxious in our tummy or our heart's going a little bit too fast because we're feeling scared or even excited, we can just take those 5 deep breaths and we can very, very slowly bring ourselves back down to a calmer state. So well done. So the next thing is our spine. So we have a spine that comes all the way down here, very, very flexible. So I just want you to imagine that your spine's not flexible today. So just stand here in mountain pose. So feet about hip width distance apart, hands down, deep breath. And then we're going to walk to the top of our mats or along our carpet and just see what it's like when we can't flex our spine. So we're stood very, very stiff, turning around, walking with that really straight spine. Doesn't feel good, does it? Try sitting down with a really straight spine. See how that feels. Wow, not good at all. So let's give it a little flex now. Let's see what that spine can really do. So we're going to do something called a cat-cow stretch. So we're bringing our hands in front of us, shoulder width apart, pointing the fingers forward like starfish. And we're coming into what we call tabletop pose. So our knees, you might not be able to see that well on the camera, but just to show you, our knees are on the mat and our legs are hip width distance apart. So we're just going to breathe in and look up. And we're going to breathe out, arch the back, push out through the shoulders and empty that tummy of breath. So 2 more of these. You can do these in your own time. Breathing in, looking up, breathing out into your cat stretch. 1 more. Lovely. So that feels really, really good to have that spine nice and flexible. So coming up onto our knees, and all we're going to do here is we're just going to take 1 arm back. We're just going to bend backwards. So making sure when you're coming forward that you're not crunching forward, you're pulling forward like this, keeping your core nice and tight. And then you're going to reach your other hand back. Feel how flexible that spine is. And then I think you've earned a nice little rest in child pose. So just coming down, sitting your bottom onto your feet, bring your arms out in front of you. Or if you prefer, you can wrap yourself into a little ball like when we do mouse pose. And just taking a couple of deep breaths here. Well done. So that's our spine, our flexible spine. So what about those hips? So let's take a nice squat together. So bring your hands into your heart center and we're going to work these hips. So nice wide open hips this morning. So we're going to come all the way down, have a little wiggle on the way down. That helps me get all the way down to the bottom. Excellent. See if you can challenge yourself and come all the way up without touching the mat. Coming all the way down one more time. Feeling that lovely stretch in those hips. And come all the way to standing. Lovely. Give those feet and legs a little shake. Excellent. Well done. So what about our legs? They can work really hard when we're doing some balancing. So I think you know what's coming now, our favourite balance, and that's tree pose. So you've got lots and lots of options for tree pose. So when our muscles are strong, that helps us to balance. Also, the balancing helps the brain, the left and the right side of the brain come into balance too. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bring one leg up, resting it on our other leg. Now it's really important that you don't rest on your knee here. Okay, so that's not good because you're resting it on a joint. So you can either just put one foot in front of the other, on top of the other. I don't know if you can see. Just one foot on top of the other. Or for you yogis that have done lots of yoga with me before, you can bring your leg up onto the side. You can bring your hands into heart center. You can grow your branches so you can bring your hands up, or you can bring your hands out. So a great little tip here is just to focus on something that's not moving, and it'll just help you balance. This is called, in grown-up yoga, we call this a drishti. So it's a gaze. We're kind of gazing down the top of our nose to something that's not moving, and that just helps us steady the balance. Well done, some great balancing this morning, perfect. And then we're just going to do that on the other side, because as you will know, if you've come to my classes, I always say to my yogis that if we do something on one side, we have to do it on the other, or we'll be wobbly and wonky for the rest of the day. So taking that lovely tree pose on the other side, bringing the hands to the heart center, and bringing those hands up high, or growing our branches out to the side, trying to keep that focus. Don't worry about what your brother or sister or carer is doing next to you. Just focus on that spot that's not moving and hold this tree pose. Well done. So give those ankles a little shake out. They've worked really, really hard in tree pose. Excellent. So what about our shoulders? When we're feeling a lot of tension, we feel that in our shoulders. So just make your shoulders nice and tight. Really tense them up. Bring them up to your ears. And then just let go. So this is how we carry ourselves sometimes. If we've got a test, for example, if we've got lots of homework, or if we're just feeling a little bit fed up or anxious, we might feel that we're kind of tensing our shoulders and carrying that with us. So it's just nice to give them a little roll, just like we did at the beginning of class. Maybe make some big circles with those arms, and big circles the other way. So just letting go of all that tension that we might be carrying in those shoulders. One more up to the ears. Big sigh out. Lovely. Well done, everybody. So as well as being flexible, we can be strong. So who is up for a plank challenge this morning? So we do plank a lot in yoga. So most of you have done that with me before, but I'll just show you. We're going to bring our hands again, pointing forward like starfish, shoulder width apart, and then we're going to come into plank. So try not to come up like this. We're not in downward dog this morning. We've got to get our bottoms lower if we can, pushing out of those shoulders and on our feet. And we're going to try and hold the plank for the count of 20. So children, let's see if we can beat our grown-ups in the plank challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are you still there? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, nearly there, 19, 20. Well done. Come down onto your tummies. Whew. Just put your head on your carpet or your mat. Take a couple of deep breaths. Well done in the plank challenge this morning. That was excellent. Perfect. So, what about our arms? So, let's do some work on our arms this morning. And we're going to come into our goddess pose. But just to make it a little bit of fun, we're going to turn it into lion pose. So, can you put your feet hip width distance apart again for me? Bend those knees. And can you bring your arms out to the side? So a lovely goddess pose, so having those hands and arms working for us here. But what we're going to do, because we like to make it fun in yoga, we're going to take a big deep breath in through the nose. And as we breathe out, we're going to come into lion. Perfect. And are we ready? We're going to do that again. Breathing in through the nose. Fantastic. Well done, yogis. And so what about our legs? We've obviously done a little bit of balancing, but let's see what they can do. So maybe sitting down, running, walking. So let's just come into chair pose. So we're going to bend at the knees. We're going to bring our hands in front of us up towards the sky. You can bring your hands together if you want to. So if you can just imagine that you're kind of sitting back like you're in an imaginary chair. And make sure you've got your feet firmly on the ground. Lovely. Well done. And another nice pose for our big strong legs is our warrior pose. So come into warrior 2 with me, children, and grown-ups of course. So bringing our hands out in front of us. Do it this way round so it's easier. Bending the front knee, straightening the back leg, bringing those hands up in line with each other. Gazing forward, feeling that strength in those legs this morning. Excellent. And then we're just going to very, very gently pivot round, bending the other leg now, and doing warrior 2 on the other side. Fantastic. So your body's having a really good workout this morning. So you can try some different balances if you want to. I know some of my older yogis like to try crow pose. So this is your opportunity to try a little balance. You might want to do another tree. You might want to do a dancer pose. So I know a lot of my children that go to gymnastics like this one. So we just grab our foot with our hand, bringing our arm forward, and then we're just going to lift up that leg. So another nice little balance to do on your legs here. Okay, I'll do this one sideways this time. So just catching that foot, whoops, doesn't matter if you're wobbly, and bringing that hand forward, pushing that foot. So pushing that foot into the hand, taking a nice little balance here. Well done, and give those ankles a little roll out again. Fantastic. So coming back down to the mats now. Wow, you've worked so hard this morning, everybody. And obviously we've got other parts of our body that work really hard. Our ears, for example. So I'd just like you at this moment in time just to close your eyes. Just see what you can hear around you. So just taking a mindful moment here. Can you hear the birds in the garden? Can you hear probably not so many cars going by today, but can you hear people in the gardens? What can you hear? So just like those ears, just tune in. So shutting off our eyes, we're shutting out kind of the other senses such as sight, and we're just focusing on what those ears can hear. Fantastic. So also We've talked about the brain, but what about the mind? Do you know how many millions of thoughts go through the mind a day? It's forever processing information, and also we have that mind chattering to us. So we're going to go into a nice relaxation now, and we're just going to slow down those thoughts. We're going to still the mind, and we're just going to spend a couple of minutes here, just in complete stillness if we can. So just close your eyes. You can lie down, back down on your mat now. And if you want to have your palms facing up towards the ceiling, you can do. And just closing the eyes, taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, just letting go. So we're going to relax our body. Just the one we've just worked it out. We're now going to relax it all the way from the crown of our head all the way down to our toes. So just imagine that you're floating through space, floating through the air, feeling safe, feeling happy. And each time a twinkle star lands on you, your body's going to feel more relaxed. So twinkle stars landing on your head, making your head nice and relaxed. Twinkle stars on your chest, your ribs and your tummy, making those parts of your body feel nice and relaxed. Twinkle stars on your hips, thighs, your knees, your shins, all the way down to your ankles and toes. So all the bottom half of the body now, with those lovely twinkle stars resting there, feeling nice and relaxed. And then twinkle stars on your shoulders and arms, on your fingers, helping you to feel very still, very relaxed. So if any thoughts come into your head, we're going to imagine they're a big balloon full of air, and we're just going to let them float away now. Just feeling very still, very calm, very safe. Just another moment here. And we're just going to start to give our fingers and toes a little wiggle. So we're going to very slowly now get some movement back into the body. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Stretch your arms out over your head. So if you're still lying on the floor, see how far you can stretch from your fingertips all the way to your toes. So have a lovely long stretch here. And then bringing your knees into your chest. Having a little rock, having a little hug, if that's how you're feeling today, like you need a hug. And then coming all the way up to sitting position. So well done, we've come to the end of our yoga lesson. I will be putting more videos on. Parents, carers, if you have any questions, anything I can help with, then please do message me. So everybody, if we can just bring our hands to our heart centre and share our special word, which is Namaste. And this basically means that all the good things in me, like all the good things in you. So just bringing our hands together and sharing our word, Namaste. I'll see you soon, everybody. Take care.